Hello, my name is Sophia. I'm 23 years old, and I'm a former Lionheart client. My story begins at 8 years old, when I immigrated from the Philippines to Calgary, specifically the Forest Lawn area. For as long as I can remember, I've struggled with constant anxiety. No matter where I went, even in my own home, I only had two states. Either I was hypervigilant or I was daydreaming. I had difficulty sleeping, I worried about anything and everything, and I was always tired. Yet, I didn't consider these symptoms. I believe that's just who I am and who I will always be. It didn't help that because my anxiety was so evident to the people around me, I constantly heard, "Why are you so stressed out all the time? Just don't be anxious. Stop being nervous." I grew up in a confusing environment. At school, I was taught mental health exists. But then outside of school, I hear adults say mental health doesn't exist and there's no such thing as depression. At social gatherings, I heard adults laugh, dismiss, and ridicule mental struggles. When I gathered the courage to ask for help, it typically went like this: 2 minutes of me talking, followed by an hour of lecture. I felt like no one was truly listening to me. At the same time, I felt immense pressure. In the culture I grew up in, the messaging is to study, study, study. I could only be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. Being the eldest child and a girl, I must take care of my younger siblings, even if I was struggling to take care of myself. I came from a culture that cared too much about what people thought. I was told if I'm struggling, I must hide that because what will people say? Yet, in my schooling in Canada, I'm encouraged to seek accommodations. Additionally, my area, the Forest Lawn area, had a stigma. Apparently, it was dangerous, but I found it to be pretty safe. Throughout all of this, my only source of support were my friends, but we didn't have the words nor the actions to truly support each other. We were all going through similar issues, with similar cultural backgrounds, in the same environment, and with no ideas on how to make life better or if we can even make life better. So, I learned it's best to hide my struggles. I've secretly sought help ever since I was 14, the age I found out counseling and therapy exist. I only attended the free services because the paid resources were expensive with long wait lists. The process and results were typically the same. I talk for 10 minutes, and the rest of the hour is them explaining what anxiety is to me and giving me homework that doesn't get to the root cause of my anxiety. I was frustrated. If this is what help looks like, then there's no way out. None of these truly addressed the issues. I felt no one in my life truly listened to me, and I also felt the counselors didn't really listen. Thankfully, things began to shift when I finally found the Lionheart Foundation. During a panic attack, I was on the Community Connect YYC website looking for anything with an available appointment. Only one program had an intake appointment that same day, and it was in 30 minutes. In half an hour, I was on a Zoom call with Lisa, my intake coordinator for Lionheart. I was so sure Lionheart will be like every other support program I've tried. However, I noticed Lisa was taking me seriously. She was listening. This wasn't even a therapy session. It was an intake session, and she was listening to me. At the end of it, she said she knows the perfect therapist. And to my surprise, she was right. Because of the Lionheart Foundation, I found the perfect therapist, and she was the perfect therapist. There were 5 key differences with my therapist, Michelle. Number 1, she was an art therapist. I gave up my creativity because I believed it was pointless. The only thing that mattered was school. Number 2, there was time for conversations to find the root cause. I learned this was more than just anxiety. There were many parts to it, including my environment, family dynamics, and social norms. Number 3, Michelle didn't give me homework every week. I didn't feel the pressure to say I got better each session. There were multiple sessions where we talked about the same topic over and over. Number 4, I had a safe space. And number 5, Michelle had a great way of reframing anxiety. For example, there was one session in which I said, "I'm constantly anxious. I'm anxiety." She stopped me and she said, "You're not anxiety. You have anxiety." That small and simple switch of saying I have instead of I am made a big difference to me. In my last session with Michelle, we were talking about drawing and painting when out of the blue, I blurted out, "Hey, wait a minute, I don't have anxiety anymore." To this day, I still occasionally feel anxious. However, it doesn't spiral me anymore. I now understand it's my mind and my body telling me something. My therapist and Lionheart focused on helping me heal instead of getting me to function. When I reached out to Lionheart, I was a full-time university student working 8 hours a week to pay for school parking and to have lunch money. I only paid $15 per session, and when I stopped working, Lionheart completely paid for my sessions. Because of Lionheart, my present and my future look different. I now have the words to explain what I'm experiencing and what's going on in my head. I can have conversations with my family and my friends about mental health. I am the first person in my family to go to therapy, and I am the first in my friend group to go to therapy. My friends followed afterwards. It's been a long journey. It's taken me 2 years. This was not a quick fix. This was a long-term healing journey. And none of this would be possible without the support of my therapist and the Lionheart Foundation. You and the people in this room make it possible. On behalf of the kids like me who aren't on stage, thank you.
How was it? You did good. Look at this.
Oh, thank you.
Come on over here. Come to the seat.